Welcome to my channel. I'm Whitney Moon. Nice to see you. I'm doing this reading today for somebody out there. I'm an empath, always have been. Wanted to figure out how to channel some of this NRJ, and that's what spoke to me. So I always say, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, because they are general messages. They're not personal. I've been doing this for over 10 years. I do trust what I say. Okay. So if you want a personal reading, you can always hit me up, whitneymoonshine@gmail.com. Okay. We can do a nice little personal reading for you if that's what you like. If not, you can just enjoy the channel. Okay. I will not judge either way. And if you think this message resonates with somebody, then send it out, share it with people. We would always appreciate that, getting that message out there. All right. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Like I said, ooh, death on the bottom of the deck. I can't ignore that. Let's see what is following death today. Two of Wands, a decision. Possibly choosing a direction. Page of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, after a hard ending. Nine of Pentacles. So sometimes we have to, go through extreme transformations to get rid of old energy inside of us, right? That kind of like holds us back, holds us in an old narrative that we're not in anymore, right? So I feel like, could be you or could be somebody around you, but I feel like victory was won. All right. Victory was won. And whoever you won a war against or won, I mean, it doesn't even need to be an actual battle. It just, you feel like you won, like, you know what? I walked away. I got the last word. Even if they got the last word, it almost doesn't even matter because it put you in a different position where suddenly there was a different direction now. Like, okay, now that I've put this to rest and I've changed and I've like somehow rose from the dead or come back and, from the ashes, I've got a different perspective now. I've got a different route I want to go. Okay. And when you begin to look at money as something that can help you, okay, it probably has hurt you most of the past, but when you find the clarity to be like, okay, I can take what I've got here and this new idea, I don't have to let it betray me again, right? Like somebody could have stolen all your ideas, took all your money, something like that. And it forced you to look at life like, you know what? People can do that. They can walk into your life and they can steal everything you own. I don't even fucking know how it happens, but it does. Okay. There's these tricky energies, okay, that come into our lives at specific times that we have some things and they try to take it. Okay. And whether or not they end up taking it or not is up to the universe. It's up to, well, it's not even really up to the universe. It's kind of up to the person or thing that they're trying to take, right? If you love something, you stand guard on it. You're not going to let somebody take it. But if somebody steals something from you, okay, Five of Cups, because they're upset about something, they're upset about their situation, they're upset about their life, they come, messing around in your living room. And it's like, why did you have to bring your crap where I am? Like, I'm trying to, get through this. I'm trying to get to somewhere that I can connect to something deeper. Why the fuck are you, coming up in here thinking that you can just take anything that you want or mess up my sheets again, mess up my perspective again on what it is that you feel life is or what it is that you feel betrayal is or whatever, like I'm getting away from that. I'm getting above that. I don't need to speak that way anymore. I don't need to be that way anymore. Like you left me for dead. Multiple people left me for dead. And now I'm going to show them. I don't even really think it's about showing them. I think it's finally like just letting it go. Finally letting it go and being like, man, I just am so much more powerful when I'm in my field, when I'm doing what I love. right? Because your masculine's there, your feminine's there, right? It's like when I'm in my independence, that's where I love myself the most. And for somebody to take that independence away from you, for somebody to claim that they love you, but really they don't, and to manipulate you and to live off that, to grow off of that, right? It's you still have to learn that there are good people out there, right? And like, yeah, you might have come across a really evil individual, somebody who just did not have your best interests at heart, but the reason for all the kerfuffle, it's almost like, was to rebirth you, right? It was to kill the old person off, to resurrect the new, right? To kill off something that so then it doesn't follow you around anymore. Okay, now we've got the Four of Cups in reverse with the Lovers. Like, no longer dwelling on the relationships that, you might have been waiting for somebody for just too long, right? Always thinking, I always thought, honestly, for 10 years, I always thought my ex-boyfriend was going to come back. Always. And it was almost like, I almost felt like I waited for him to come back for so long. It's not that I waited for him to come back. I just didn't want anybody else. I didn't want to, like, not that I even really wanted to be with him. I feel like he held space for something. So then I didn't get wrapped up in something that I really didn't want, right? It's almost like nobody could compare to him. It was always about him. And then once I realized it wasn't about him at all, it was, I needed to get away from that. And I felt like nobody was good enough for me because I was comparing them to him. But really, he wasn't even really good enough for me. We weren't even really good enough for each other. But it held space, right? So then I could see the betrayal for what it was, make the decision to change, use money for independent freedom, and fall in love with myself again, and not the way that they wanted, a different way, right? A different way. Going for a deeper connection, because I really think you had a lot of attention on you, okay? And this attention is what brought the betrayal, right? It's all eyes on you, right? And everyone's like poking at you and picking at you and doing all this shit. And you're like, you know what? Like, this is the betrayal. Like, you don't do this to anybody else. You're putting me in your spotlight for some reason, and you're making it seem like I'm the only one, or I'm the problem, or I'm the change. And it's just like, you know what? I'm not going to do this with you anymore. Like, I'm going to use my money and good now, and I'm going to let this, dissipate. Walk away from it, realize that every battle, there is an end, and like, you can just play dead, right? Act like you don't want anything. Act like, you're waiting for them just to see what would happen almost, like, I'm getting really fucking dizzy right now for some reason. I've been having these really, they're not heat flashes, but they kind of are, where it just seems like all the energy in my body suddenly just wants to come out, and every pore has to open, and like when I have clothes on and stuff, like my pores can't just open, and I can't just run around naked. Like, fuck. Okay. What a woman's body goes through, I tell you. And like, this is a part of this reading, because like, what people put you through, okay, and the things that they take away from you, and then you forget what you even want. Like, when I go on and I'm going for a drive, and I go to like pick my music that I want to listen to, I'm always like a deer in headlights. Like, what do I like? It's really hard for me to address what I like. It's like something didn't want me to ever like things, right? Like my stepmother, if I liked something, she always kind of went like, well, that's boyish, or that's, little girls don't like things like that, or let's concentrate on you doing this. Like, it seemed like a lot of people just didn't want me to be me, right? Didn't want Whitney to be Whitney. And then Whitney forgot really what she wanted and what she liked. Because every time I said I liked something, somebody said no. Like, I wasn't allowed to like it. Like, what does that even mean, right? What does that even mean? So I feel like maybe that's a part of it, where it's like you're no longer waiting for somebody to tell you what you like. No longer waiting for somebody to tell you, okay, this is the person for you. This is the situation for you. This is what's going to happen for you. It's like all eyes on you, when you got to go deeper than that. Spirit wants you to go deeper in that. They want you to re emerge yourself as somebody who doesn't take good to authority, like doesn't just go, oh, it's a black suit and tie event or I can't go. Well, I don't wear black suit and ties, so I guess I'm not fucking going, right? Instead of just putting on the suit and tie and doing what everybody else does. Like, why? If that's not what you want to do and that's not who you want to be around, that's not the situation you want to be in, then why the fuck would you want to put yourself there, right? Just for everybody else's sake? That's what this whole thing is about, right? It's claiming your independence, no longer being like, okay, I have to do what people say. They're going to end me. They want to redefine me. They want to tell me what I have to do. They want to tell me what I want. They want to tell me, then when I do something wrong, suddenly all eyes are on me. Like, I'm going for something bigger. I'm going for something deeper. And unless you give a shit about it, it doesn't matter. Right? Because people are not going to like you. Even your own fucking parents are not going to like you in the decisions that you make if they don't want you to be an independent person, right? A lot of today is about individuality, and that's what Pluto is going to do as it merges now through Aquarius, is it's going to light up all the Aquarian energy out there, which everybody's got Aquarian energy in them, but it's that individuality that they don't want to show because they feel like, that's been tapered with. They feel like the individual person that you are, people don't accept. But that was the people around you not accepting you for who you were at that time. There's a whole new group of people coming. And those are the people that need you in your authenticness as much as possible, because some people, they get money and they start playing this part. Okay. It's like if you got money, okay, and Gucci decides they're going to sponsor you and you turn your fucking whole world into Gucky all of a sudden. And you're like, people are like, this is not you. Like, just because you've got money, like now all of a sudden you've got Gucky all over you and like you can't fucking, you got, Prada's on your fucking waist. Like, what the fuck is happening to you, right? People get caught up in things, okay, because they really don't know what they want. So they just want everything. When this is a new world where you have things at your fingertips, and now it's the will of, do I want it? Like, I just worked for this money. Do I want this, or am I just getting it because everybody else has it? Because why the fuck do I want one? Like, honestly, be very careful. I'm getting with those, I'm going to kind of use cryptic words here with anything electric, okay, that just wants to drive itself or steer itself or turn itself on. There's already videos of multiple things glitching. Okay. Anything that says it'll do the work for you and it's plugged in, be very careful. Always do hard copies. Maybe that's what you're getting into now is making hard copies of everything, right? Because if this digital world goes to shit, all your hard copies are in the digital world, you're going to lose all of your work. You're going to lose everything, right? So it's like readapting to VHS. It's readapting to, I want a hard copy of this that will make it through an apocalypse, okay? That will make it through, people losing all their technology. Like, when you think about it, right? I go back to like those boom boxes that have the batteries in it, right? Like, why wouldn't you want to have those? You lose power, you got batteries, you're going to have music all the time, but your little MP3 player is not going to work, okay? Because it has to be plugged in, right? Or the charge is now done, where we've got an unlimited supply of batteries, but if you lose electricity, you're fucked. There's something about like going back to old school, going back to like pioneer days, and like, but incorporating it into now, right? Like when say you're like making clothing or something like that, okay, and you got like a press, right? The world is kind of telling you, like, what if you didn't have that press? Okay, why do you have to make a mass amount of something so quickly, right? If you thought of every t-shirt, every sweater, every pair of jeans, every project as its own individual source of income, then you stop branding everything with the same logo. Okay? I don't know what that means to somebody, but it's like, read in between the lines, you know, like do something, figure out how to use your money to not let it end you, or have all eyes on you all the time. You want stuff that people are going to look for, because people will look for you. They will look for what you're doing, because that's who you're bringing in. You're not Gucci, you're not Gucky, okay? You're not Prada. You're not trying to get this worldwide demand. Why don't you just keep it to like your city? Why don't you just become well known as a small person, as a small business that gets word out, right? What happened to that? Why did we go from small businesses to suddenly huge manufacturers, as if we want our product to go everywhere? Then you disconnect from it. You stop going out to, you stop really working. You stop, losing your respect for working, because now all these machines are doing it and all this other stuff is doing it for you. Now you're completely disconnected from everything. It's like doing one painting and then making a fucking copy of it. Why? Like, I get to make prints, but what are you going to do with that original? And I'm pointing at that because that's an oil painting right there. It's a marijuana leaf. That's an oil painting right there. It's like underwater seaweed. Like, I could make prints of that, but like, that's what you want. That's the hard copies that you want. That's what you want to be selling. If you could sell your hard copies, you know how much money you would get off one thing as opposed to selling it 1,000 times? Just saying. Okay? There's a smart way to do something, a branding way to do something, and a multi-factional functioning way of doing things. And the farther you get up the ladder of greatness that you want to be, the disconnected you're going to become from the ground. Okay? So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Okay, if it resonates, that's awesome. I'm super fucking stoked for you, because this was a great reading. If it didn't resonate for you, just wait for the next reading. There's going to be plenty, just like that shuffle that was atrocious. Okay, if you want to book a personal reading, you can go right ahead. WhitneyMoonshine@gmail.com. It's also in the description box below. I do have Instagram if you'd like to connect with me on there. I let all the thumbnails go as soon as I put the videos up. So if you want to go over there, if you have a problem with getting some of your notifications from YouTube, you can go right on over there. It's under the About section of the channel. Okay, my email is in the description and in the About section. So there's no way you can say that you can't get a hold of me, because trust me, you can. Peace out. Thank you so much for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing these videos. It's how we get the message out. It's how people can figure out what's going on, right? I really appreciate all your support that you're giving me out there, and all back to you. Obviously, have a really great week. Be good to yourselves. Be good to your neighbors. Namaste. I hope your dreams come true. Peace out. Have a good one. Be good.